Hi, welcome to my studio. I'm Sarah, and in this video I am drawing some fan art from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I got the game on launch day from pre-ordering it, and I have definitely spent too much time playing it. At least I'm on summer break, so it doesn't really matter. I have way too many screenshots I want to draw, but I picked a few that I think are cool and should be a bit of a challenge to draw, and I tried to figure out some sort of composition for them all to fit nicely on this page. All of them are from the opening prologue section of the game, and I won't talk about anything past that as far as spoilers go. And no spoilers in the comments as well, please. Before I get too far into this, I do want to mention there were a lot of things that went wrong for this page. It's definitely not one of my best, but it was still nice to draw some Tears of the Kingdom fan art. For so many things going wrong, I do like how the sketch for Link and Zelda falling turned out, and I think I actually got the perspective for Link hanging. Black hands, an artist's worst nightmare. It doesn't help that the spirit hand is kinda weird in the first place, although it was fun to draw the designs on it. Why is it so hard to make Link look like Link? The sketch took so many tries to get right, it's not even funny. I'm surprised my paper handled so much erasing. I think the slight angle of his face was throwing me off a bit. Zelda's eyes were really hard to get right. Eyes in general were harder than usual to get right for this page. Oh well, learning opportunities, right? That's actually why I decided to post this video, even though so many things went wrong, even in the editing process. I might not be a huge fan of this page, but it's still art nonetheless, and sometimes we have to make drawings that we don't like to learn from them so the next ones can be even better. Now, I was complaining about the hand earlier, but these hands I actually really like how they turned out, which is surprising since it's two hands interacting with each other. You'd think that would be harder to draw. This little square is a sort of landscape study. I was going to explain what I did for it, but my camera decided to go and die on me, and I didn't notice. So I'm really disappointed that I can't show the cool part. The trick though for the finished product is a colorless blender and a white gel pen under the colors. For coloring, I use markers as a base under my colored pencils. I was going to try not completely cover the markers with colored pencils this time, but that didn't really happen. I still defaulted to how I usually color. The hand was fun to color since it's so bright and glowy. I gotta say though, this reddish color was a terrible choice to shade the skin with, but I'd already used it at that point, so I figured I had to continue using it. It makes Link look like he has an entirely different skin tone than he should. Whatever. Like I said from the start, this page is not my best. Hair is always fun to shade. I flare the darkest color out from each of the points, each section of the hair, leaving a space for the highlight in the middle, and then I blend it all together with the main midtone. At this point, I'm pretty positive that Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom take place in their own timeline, separate from all the other Zelda games. But even so, there are so many cool callbacks, references, and parallels to past games, and I haven't even gotten that far in the main story yet. I'm that person who explores every area, stops at every shrine, discovers every cave, and does every side quest, which there are a lot of in this game. I love Zelda's new look. I do kind of miss the long hair because now I can't cosplay this version of her with my own long hair, but I think the volume to her hair now is really cute. I did learn my lesson from coloring Link's skin and did not use that reddish color for shading Zelda's skin as much. Her skin is a bit lighter than Link's anyways, so it worked out. I do wonder what these tears below her eyes are. Are they tattoos? Paint? I still can't believe that Ganondorf straight up shattered the Master Sword. It's lasted how many thousands of years within the Breath of the Wild timeline alone, and he just shatters it with the gloom like it's glass. Thank you so much for watching. Have you played Tears of the Kingdom yet? Let me know in the comments. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and Jesus loves you.